Welcome to this section of free lessons. A lot of what I do in research, and have research sounds so technical, doesn't it? A lot of what I'm like, and I'm really got my head into, is electronic styles, electronic beats of all sorts and all kinds. And I found certain things that if you're interested in sounding the same way, you just need to know them and follow some rules that have to be dropped into your head. You have to wrap your head around it. So it's less about practicing routines, which are plenty on the website, obviously, to get deep into the style. But also there's a knowledge section always that gives you ideas and opens your ears so you listen, pay attention to the right stuff that will guide you all by yourself, basically. So it's kind of turning out what's already in, if you so wished. So today I just want to talk about the consistency and the options of the smallest subdivision, which is usually played in electronic styles by a hi-hat. There might be cymbals, there might be toms, weird stuff too, but usually it's a hi-hat. So let's go into a drum and bass beat. Should maybe talk to the microphone so you can hear me better, right? So let's go to a drum and bass beat, but slow, not up in the 180s, but around 140. And I'll just play some, and then I point out why I'm sounding that way. Very simple drum and bass, basic, stripped down to the min. So, two things I want to point your ears at. One is I have two hi-hats. And that allows me, if I play the faster subdivision on one, to do all sorts of sounds with the other one that only a machine could do. Because with one hi-hat, normal drummer, with one hi-hat cannot do this. You know, like playing, let a hi-hat open, let it ring, while the smaller subdivision is keeping all through it. Usually you would opt, if you want to do this, to a cymbal, dry cymbal maybe. But if you have a second hi-hat, you can do this. You can also, obviously, play it on the rim of some sort, on a tom rim, or you could have a wood block or whatever. So rim could sound like this. Something like this. You can play it on a tom-tom too. It's just think about subdivision somewhere else than longer ringing while you want to play with the hi-hat. So this allows you to play a lot of different, create a lot of different sound shapes within the electronica style. So you could use a muffled tom-tom. So that's just to open your ears. Obviously, it's cool to have a second hi-hat for these kind of styles. so you can actually play with two different hi-hat sounds or open close while the other one is running right through. The next thing I want to point out, when it gets a little gnarly in terms of tempo, we drummers usually go into a rocking motion with the hand, which is fine for most styles. It phrases this faster subdivision a little bit. It goes into an upstroke, downstroke motion kind of thing that makes it easier for us to maintain the high tempo. Machines that mostly are responsible for the electronica style, they don't have to do that. They can play at any tempo, basically, at any volume. So if you have this in mind and you want to sound machine-like, electronica-like, then you will turn your attention to your hi-hat again, or the smallest subdivision on the cymbal, and avoid the rocking motion at all costs, especially in drum and bass. You might use it in house and minimal styles because you want to have the upbeat eighth note, obviously. So you go 1. That is fine, but that's not even a tempo that, you know, you would need to do that at. But if you go into drum and bass, try it a little bit slower first, not at the 180, 190, 200 BPM, but try it around 120 and work your way up. For instance, just pay attention with your ears. It will guide your hand once you really focus, for now, on just the hi-hat. So just an example how this can sound in fast if you keep it consistent. So at 132, just for now, let us check out the hi-hat at this drum and bass beat. Okay, that's just me jamming. That was not my point. The point is the hi-hat being played very solid gives immediately the feel of a machine doing it. You know, you're not phrasing, you're not like humanly phrasing a beautiful song along with the bass player or the keyboard player in the rhythm section. You know the machine has tracks and you follow those tracks. And that's basically a lot of the thinking of the knowledge base on the website that is going to drop these bits, kind of guide your eyes and ears to the right spot, so then you can take over and make it your own. And of course there's exercises as well. You might not need all of those because you're coming up with your own if your ears are already pointed in the right direction, obviously. But of course they're there to get you even faster where your ears want you to go. So without further ado, that being one part of the free lesson complex, it's on to the next one. So I hope now you're inspired to listen with a new set of ears to what's going on around you. The next lesson will be a brief observation on up-tempo playing at the example of the double stroke roll.